So what happened?
Yeah.
So
with my lazy boy.
lazy boy.
You mean
So
your
you fell over
mattress?
your lazy boy while watching Netflix.
Yeah, and then you fell over your lazy boy while watching Netflix
Well,
at
I'm
the
watching
same
Netflix.
time.
I'm watching Crave.
Oh, but it was at the same time.
Jeff, what are you doing?
I don't know. I just got bitten by this radioactive moth, and this light, it's so attractive.
Well, can we start the review now?
Sure. Let's do that. So,
For looking at that light, it is kind of nice.
Please don't end like The Fly, please.
Kidz Review Crew.
Welcome back to Kidz Review Crew.
Today we will be reviewing Spider-Man Far From Home.
Spider-Man Far From Home deals with life after the snap.
This movie stars Tom Holland, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Samuel L. Jackson. Let's get started.
first off, who has seen the original Spider-Mans? Okay, so we all know the whole Spider-Man story. In terms of the Marvel timeline, this follows right after Avengers Endgame. Do you have to see Avengers Endgame to understand this film?
Yeah, there's a lot of spoilers to what happens in Endgame in this.
I feel like you should see it because there's some stuff that you need to watch Endgame for, like she said, because you see, like the opening credits alone, there's like 49 spoilers in that. So you need like even just like to watch like 12 seconds of this movie, you need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to see Endgame. Like, it shared some bits of Endgame and Infinity War, if you haven't seen Infinity War, but I think most people have, and Endgame. But I don't think you have to because you would kind of assume what would happen.
I guess in some ways the main thing that happened in Endgame that this film sort of talks a lot about indirectly is kind of out there in common knowledge now too, right? Without spoiling it, it's not like it's a big secret anymore. Now that Endgame's been around for a while. What do you think?
I think if you want to understand this movie the best, you should watch actually 3 movies: Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming, Infinity War, and Endgame, because you got to understand how everyone was brought back, how everyone got blipped.
In terms of Spider-Man himself, so we've seen this particular Spider-Man a few times now. Who is the best Spider-Man?
Tom Holland.
I'm gonna say Tom Holland.
Things we didn't like or that we did like?
There's one scene where I think that just could have been left out of the movie. I think it was just kind of pointless.
Okay.
I really like the CGI, like the certain things that I can't say. And I agree with James that a scene, I think we're thinking probably of the same thing that could have been left out.
Okay.
I like the effects and camera angles. Like, they had good positions for showing him swinging around bridges and stuff like that. And the effects were great, as James said. Yeah. I don't remember I don't know if I know, I'm thinking of the same scene you're thinking about. No.
Well, you can talk after the show.
Yeah.
This is Mr. Beck.
We could have used someone like you on my world.
Your world? Beck is from Earth, just not ours. The snap tore a hole in our dimension.
You're saying there's a multiverse?
We have a job to do, and you're coming with us.
Okay, so one of the cool things about Marvel movies is that each time there's another movie, there's new characters introduced, and we get to meet new members of the Marvel Universe. This time we met a new villain. What did you think of the new villain?
He's new in the movies, was in the comics before. I think he's a cool villain, but he doesn't have that big of a purpose in the actual storyline of Spider-Man, I guess, throughout the Marvel series.
But he had a pretty important purpose in this particular movie.
In this movie,
yeah.
yes, but if you, I guess if you had a timeline of Spider-Man, I don't think it had to be in there. Like, it could have been a different villain.
I think that he was a great villain. Well, they and Yeah. And I'm pretty sure if you look this up at home, he is the first Spider-Man villain made.
Oh,
In the comics, of course.
fascinating. Okay, we'll have to check you on that.
I think if this is possible, he's a likable bad guy. I thought it was a good performance, and I feel like it was just a good, like a character in general. I feel like it was like kind of a relief for the audience.
Well, the villain kind of like I didn't really like understand because what I want to know is why is the villain taking it out on Spider-Man when his bad guy was somebody that wasn't really involved with Spider-Man that much except for like Homecoming and Endgame and stuff, but he wasn't really involved with that, so I don't know why he's taking over on Spider-Man.
You haven't seen the movies, so.
I don't understand this stuff!
Well, that's good, but your opinion's important because not everybody is going to have seen or have followed the entire canon. To be honest, Addison, you and I are very similar. I have not followed the whole Marvel canon. I have to ask our directors sometimes about who these people are, so I totally understand where you are. And I just enjoyed the movie, so I don't worry about it. I think it's great. Clearly, this isn't a little kid's film. None of you are little kids. But what do you think in terms of what would be appropriate? Who would be the appropriate age group to come and see this movie?
I'd probably say 8 and up,
Right.
because I mean there is some swearing and action scenes that may, like, you know, younger children it might not be appropriate for. And there is some, like, a little bit of blood, but not a lot of blood. It's not like craziness, but I feel like 8 and up would be good because older people can enjoy this movie too, because they've been, like, this whole Marvel thing has been going on for like 11 years now, which is pretty crazy.
I agree with James completely. There was a little bit of blood, some swearing, and there was a little bit where it was just a loud noise and a sudden movement that even I got like a jolt from, and so I think 8 and up.
Okay. What do you think, Addison?
Well, my little sister, my 3-year-old sister, was in the screening with us and she loved it, but I think that there were some parts in there that could have scared like younger viewers, so I don't really know the age. I think you could watch it depending on your thrill rate and your like excitement for these kind of movies, because like these scenes and stuff sort of happen in the other movies, so if you've seen the other movies you're sort of okay to watch this one.
Okay. What about you?
I think it depends on your parents. Like if they're more flexible to let you watch it, then you can watch it. But if they think it's too much for you and you can't watch it, that's their decision, I guess.
Right.
But if you had to put like an average on it, I'd say around 7, 8, like them. Yeah.
There's gotta be someone else you can use. What about Thor?
Off-world.
Captain Marvel?
Unavailable.
But I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Okay, so now we come to that part of the review show where I ask each one of you to give your rating on the film. And I just remind you, it's 1 out of 5. So I want you to use your web shooters and give me your ratings, 1 out of 5, and a brief explanation as to why you've given it the rating. Let's start down at the end with Addison.
Well, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 because I didn't really understand it, but I thought it was a good movie, and it was just a good movie, but didn't live up to what I expected it.
That's still a pretty good review for something that didn't live up to your expectations, but okay, Ethan, your turn.
I was thinking about a 4.5 web shooters because there were like I'm not giving it that extra half because I feel like there could be more reactions and some scenes taken away. And yeah, I'm giving it a higher rating though because like I said earlier, I like the effects and yeah, I just like the movie.
James.
Well, it wasn't exactly
It-
Die Hard.
yeah.
I'm bringing up old memes, but
Yeah.
I'd probably give it a 5 because ever since I was a little kid, I love Spider-Man. I had Spider-Man books. I still probably have them somewhere tucked in a corner of my room. But I've loved Spider-Man and I loved Homecoming, and I feel like this is definitely can stand up to the first one. The special effects were great, the performances were great. I just feel like everything was perfect. Like this was the perfect example of a superhero movie.
Ooh, wow, okay, high praise. Caden.
I would give it a 5 also because Tom Holland is a phenomenal actor for a 22-year-old, and he definitely portrays the nerdiness of Spider-Man because he's very relatable, Tom Holland, because he's more pumped, like jacked now, but he was very, very skinny when he was a kid, very relatable. And also because the movie, it was never stationary. No, they never stayed in one location. It was always traveling. And maybe there was one scene that they could take out, but I feel like that's not a big deal. Thanks for watching, and now you can watch us on batterypop.com.
Please like us on social media. We are lonely.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share.
Check us out next time when we review The Lion King.
Okay, guys, that was a fantastic review. Thank you so much for your insights. I know you're all really excited about the Marvel Universe, and that was just terrific. Thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you for the next.
Jeff, what's happening?
Oh, my cocoon. I'm finally turning into Mothman. I wanted this my entire life. Thank you, Kidz Review crew.
All right, let's do this again, and action.
It's
We're
too
rolling,
freaky.
Jeff.
The biggest spider there was a pug-sized spider, like this.
Oh my
God!
It's like that's all it is. And
Yo,
they
Kate,
crossed the line
I thought that.
so bad.
With
This is ever mentioned
What,
Bruce
dude?
Campbell?
It's like, what?
How does this work?
Yeah, doesn't magnets.
There's no
Look, Bruce Campbell
So I just thought I'd check in to let you know that we might be getting under control now. We're not sure.
Hold on.
Did we do it?
Count your eggs.
Double cross.
Oh my God!
All right, I don't
We
get
gotta
the
tape it.
fired or
We
my
gotta tape it.
I'm out.
That's the third time.